How's it going, everyone? This is MOS Tricks, and in this video we're going to be talking about the combo game in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. One of the biggest topics of discussion in the game right now is, are combos even real? Because honestly, we have the ability to get out of literally everything. If it's not from a super counter, it's a revenge counter or a vanish, or we can block or use explosive wave, or some characters that have the afterimage strike. It realistically feels like there's almost no point in learning how to do combos because honestly, you can just get out of everything. And that being said, there is still a reason to actually know how to do combos. But I want to try and preface this in a very special or mentality based way. One of the biggest mistakes that you can make when trying to do combos in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is actually go out of your way to memorize an entire 30 or 40 hit combo and then say to yourself, hopefully the enemy just does nothing and lets me get this. Or even worse, in my opinion, is to go out of your way to grind a very specific combo when players can get out of stuff so easily. So what I highly recommend is not memorizing a single combo, but instead understand how the combo system actually works. One of the biggest things for sure that you have to understand is that every single combo that you do has the potential to have a finisher that will launch the opponent away if you do it twice in the combo. So to try and put that in simpler terms, if you have a move like flying kicks after pressing square square triangle, if you press square square triangle again in the combo, it's going to send your opponent away. So what you want to do is actually have variety in your combo, and here's where the problem comes into play. Since the game is so fast paced and very often you know that the enemy has the ability to get out of things very quickly, a lot of the times you'll find yourself panicking. If you actually happen to get, let's say, flying kicks to start your combo, you might just go into autopilot because you're just trying to do as much damage as you possibly can before the enemy breaks out of the combo. So very frequently you'll find yourself doing flying kicks into flying kicks when you had a massive opportunity to do something much better. Or on the other side of things, you might hit the enemy with a stray hit and then say, I don't know what comes next in the combo, so you just do a 5-hit combo, knock them away, or you end up going into a vanishing chain and leaving a lot of damage on the table. But there is a very simple fix that I came up with that is actually super easy to implicate, and it doesn't actually revolve around memorizing a combo. So something I found out that's very special about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is that if you try and go for a finisher, which is on PS5 is going to be your triangle button, that particular button will override every other input that you do during a combo when you're pressing your square inputs. And this is super important because if you are someone who's trying to get a 3-hit square combo into triangle or a 4-hit into triangle, you may actually press the button way more times than necessary, in which case you might go into a 5-hit combo. Or on the other side of the spectrum, you might try and count out how many presses you do, and you end up doing it too slowly, in which case the enemy can get out of the combo because you were too slow and the hit's done ended. So what you're going to do instead from now on is you're going to do what is called a visual confirm, which basically means it doesn't matter how many times you actually press square. Instead, you're going to watch and see how many attacks your character actually throws out. In the event that you press square 7 times, but your character only throws out 3 punches, you can press triangle and the rest of your square presses will not register. This allows you to clean up your combo game and actually be able to mash with accuracy, which sounds weird to say. Because what I was trying to do before as well is I was trying to buffer my inputs. So what I would try and do is press square 3 times quickly and then press triangle, because I was trying to abuse the buffer system. But what I found out is that if I press square 3 times quickly and I only threw out 2 punches and then I pressed triangle, that 3rd punch that I wanted would not come out. So it would be as if I pressed square twice and then pressed triangle. And as soon as I saw that there was this attack cancel property with triangle, it made everything so much easier. So all you're going to do is watch your character and visually confirm, okay, I've done 3 hits or 4 hits, and I know that I have rolling hammer after 3 hits, I'm going to press triangle. It doesn't matter if you press square 4 or 5 or 6 times. When those 3 hits come out, then you press triangle and you get rolling hammer, or whatever the move is that you're looking for on your character. So if you're someone who has, let's say, a heavy finisher after 3 hits, you just have to visually confirm, okay, my character has done 3 punches or 2 punches and a kick, or whatever the animation happens to be for your character. As soon as that happens, you press triangle and it just overrides everything. So even if you press square, like I said, I'm trying to really bring this point home. If you press square 7 times and you're playing a character like Broly, for example, who swings much slower, you could press square 7 times and he does 2 punches, and then you press triangle and you'll get your finisher every single time with accuracy. So that's one huge tip that really cleaned up my combo game. But the other thing that's also massive is throwing in lift strikes and also tripping the opponent. So for a lift strike, it's just going to be up in triangle, and same thing for tripping your opponent or doing a sweep is just going to be down in triangle. You can can do these moves very quickly, and you don't even need to charge them. You can just go ahead and do it, and if they're not ready, like you just saw, they get tripped, and if you're really good with your combo game, you can extend it pretty far, and there's not much they can do, especially if you have a rolling hammer, or if you happen to sidestep and get behind them. And with these moves as well, you want to make sure that you are visually confirming them. If you happen to land a lift strike, what should you be doing? Well, if you want more damage, you should be hitting your dash button. On PS5, that's going to be X, and then immediately go for more square presses to try and keep on pressure and also continue your combo. If you happen to knock them away with a lift strike, at least for me, I will autopilot hitting X to teleport towards them if I'm in fact ready to do that, or if I have the key to try and get up there and turn it into more of a combo. And then once I've hit my X button and I've dashed towards them and I hit them again with my square presses, I can now extend that even further by tripping them. If I get that trip, then I can go even further with a rolling hammer, or I can try and go for a heavy finisher, or I can back up with key blasts if they're trying to mash out, because I think they're going to go for perception, and let's say I don't actually get the trip. And then finally, one of the most important things for actually landing your combos as well is actually listening to the sound effects of landing a hit versus landing on someone's guard. If somebody guards one of your attacks, at least for me, this is a cue to reposition with a step or try to vanish. Or one thing I really like to do is if someone I know for a fact is trying to go for perception out of guard because they really want Sonic Sway, or they're just trying to get me away from them, is as soon as I hear them guard one of my attacks, I'll start to back up and throw out key blasts, because they are trying to use perception and you can't really do that against key blast, so it's just free damage for me, and now they're just stuck taking damage. And if you're a certain character that has a really strong key blast game and you throw out like 6 or 7, or you have like infinite, kind of like a Majin Vegeta or a Z Broly, you just throw an insane amount of key blast, that could be 3,000 or 4,000 damage just because you actually broke your own combo because they blocked it and you didn't try to press the issue and potentially get reversed with a Sonic Sway. Now, one last thing that I want to touch on with regards to combos is how much hit stun is somebody actually in when you hit them with a single attack. And I'm not talking about sweeping them or getting them in a lift strike or landing a finishing hit or something like a heavy finisher that puts them in a stun. I'm talking about landing a single jab. Like I had mentioned earlier with regards to hit stun, you can actually combo quite quickly or actually moderately slow as well if you do want to try and time out your presses. So because of that, it doesn't mean that you should always combo super fast or super slowly, but instead we have some variety, which allows us to vary up our timing and throw someone off who's trying to use super counter to get out of things. So of course we want to try and do as much damage as we can, but you also have to take into consideration the mentality of someone who's being hit. They are obviously trying to get out of whatever the combo is that you're doing. So yes, you want to try and pay attention to your button presses, make sure you're not doing the same finishers twice in a row to knock somebody away, but if you are very in tune with your character's timings, then definitely try and spice it up. There's nothing wrong with trying to do a little bit of a slower combo or adding in a combo delay. One mix that I like to do alongside trying to slow down my combos to mess up someone's super counters is to also throw in this combo delay where you will deliberately drop your combo to see what someone is going to do. This is something that a lot of high level players do in tons of fighting games, and an example in this would be doing your combo and then backing up slowly and seeing if they're going to try and throw out a perception, if they're going to try and swing on you, if they're going to hold block, if they're going to try to reposition. And it doesn't really matter what they do, it just gives you information for the future. So a setup that I love to do is throw out my combo and then back up with key blasts, and if they try to use perception, they're going to get hit. And if they try to make a read and try to deflect your key blast, then you can throw out your key blast and then you can go for a vanishing assault to get behind them while they're just waving their hand in the air trying to deflect key blasts. And that does have a cooldown animation as well. They can't instantly go from that into instantly turning around. So you can bait people into trapping themselves in animations that they don't want to be in, and then continue your combo, and even better, after a vanishing assault, you will knock somebody away, or at the very least you'll get behind them. So as we know right now, one of the best ways to get out of combos for a lot of people is going to be that super counter, but if they are blocking, most people will just go ahead and try to get a Sonic Sway or a super perception or just perception in general. They're going to hold block and then press circle or hold circle, whatever it might be, to just try and get out of the situation. So you want to try and take it upon yourself to have some awareness and make reads on what your opponent consistently does when they are getting hit. This, I will say, this is not a combo, but this is how to open up your combo game. If you catch your opponent always always pressing the wrong buttons, you'd be amazed at how much more damage you will get. Also, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know, what have you guys been struggling with in the game? And I'm talking about from a mechanical or a actual fighting perspective, because of course I understand that there's been some problems with the game as far as disconnection, people rage quitting, the customization might be lacking. There's certain things that people just want on their wish list for the game, and I'm not necessarily talking about that. We can talk about that in another video too, but I'm curious to hear, what are you guys struggling with as far as offense, defense, footsies, neutral, those types of things? I want to give you guys a platform on this channel and answer some of your questions, and this is something that I've done in the past as well too, and it's gone very, very well. So if you're someone who wants to craft a very nice comment and have some very serious questions about the game, and it can even be a couple questions or even a short story, whatever you want to do, then we can turn that into a video and I can answer those questions for you. If you're someone who's absolutely brand new to the channel and this is the first video you've ever seen, I appreciate you coming through and checking it out, and hopefully you got some good information out of this video. And if you're somebody that came from the shorts on this channel, you might be very confused as to my demeanor or even my take on the game from a more professional or serious level. And I say this because if you've only ever known me to be obnoxious, belligerent, borderline ignorant, or even just annoying in the shorts, the reason for that is because I, of course, am a content creator first, and I'm trying to grow my channel. And there's a very strong chance that many of you would have never actually seen any of these guides had we not done so much content before. And unfortunately, just the way that content creation is, as far as YouTube or TikTok or anything like that, is that if you are very serious and very calm, it comes off as boring. So we had to do what had to be done, and hopefully you guys understand that as far as growing the channel and actually being able to reach out and help more players and help them actually get into the game and learn how to play it properly. And I will say that there's actually a good amount of content creators out there that are doing the exact same thing. One of the better creators that I've seen for sure is Life of Rio. He's been doing very well with teaching the community and trying to help people get to the next level, whether it's in ranked or just pick up the game for the very first time. Because I feel like, and I'm not entirely sure of his entire background, but if he's someone who's been around for a very long time, he really does know his stuff, and he's been trying to do the exact same thing as myself. But I had to come from a bit of a different angle. I came from an entirely different game, and I'm just trying to give you guys a bit of the backstory as to how we ended up getting into the scene. For anyone that doesn't know, it's only been a month since the game has been out. Actually less than that. It's been about 20 days at the time of this recording at least, and we've gained 40,000 subscribers. So when you see these TikToks and you think to yourself, this guy's annoying, or this guy's belligerent, or this guy is just straight up a dumbass, just know that I know, okay? I know there's a lot of acting that happens on YouTube, and I will say that I'm going to continue to do it, but I want you guys to just be on the inside and understand that it is just an act, at least for me, because a lot of people don't understand. I want to make sure that you guys fully get that this is the real me. I was a former S-tier Metafy coach, one of the top in the entire world for Smash Ultimate. I've coached over 1,200 players. I've done nothing but educational, competitive fighting and shooting game content for the last 5 going on 6 years. That's what I've done, and it's been a lot of work, I will say, but also trying to jump into another whole realm or a whole new game. You got to also be on the business side of things as well too, and that's I've been a killer in the game, I will say, and that's just letting you guys know as far as how things have been going down and kind of how we've been taking the approach to the channel. It's something that we really want to try and capitalize on massively, and I really do appreciate you guys that subbed and also been checking out videos like this and kind of understand the ins and outs of the multiple characters. I'll even say this: if you're someone who saw the cringy YouTube shorts where I have the higher kind of annoying voice, then you also heard the Ultra Instinct voice where I'm talking more like this the entire time. And then also you saw stuff like this where it's more off the cuff and it's more of a good discussion. We're kind of just hanging out. Hopefully you guys understand that there's a lot of moving parts as far as trying to become a successful YouTube channel, and I just want you guys to be on the inside. I want to try and be transparent with you guys. So if you're someone who has only seen shorts, then you're gonna feel like you're getting bamboozled for the rest of your life. I don't know what to tell you, but if you're someone who's actually made your way over to a long form, then I super appreciate you guys coming through, and I'll be seeing you guys in the future. I appreciate you guys checking out the video, and once again, have a great day.